Hey, everybody, and welcome back to Surviving the Fandom. I'm here with episode 3. I'm so excited to talk to this person today. Christine Riccio, an author, correct me if I'm wrong, New York Times best-selling author.
Yes,
Survivor,
thank you.
super fan, all of the above. I have been a fan for a long time. I actually have some props here for those of you watching YouTube. I found you because of this book right here, Attached to the Hip. I saw it on TikTok. What was it, like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, something like that?
Yeah, 2023, 2024 came out. Yeah.
And if you have not heard of Attached at the Hip, it is essentially rom-com romance, but it's based around Survivor and The Bachelor, and it is so wonderful. And I went, why don't we have more of this as a Survivor super fan? So I'm so excited to have you here today. Thanks for coming.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here. Yeah, no, I remember when you discovered the book and I was so excited that someone who loves Survivor had found the book.
I was excited to have something. I mean, obviously, every single season of Survivor is new, but like have something different in the repertoire of the Survivorverse, right? There's obviously all these incredible artists and like visual artists. Obviously, I can talk about the gameplay for thousands of years, but this was a new format, at least for me, and I was really excited to kind of dig my teeth in. For those who haven't read the book, do you have like a little snippet of what you want to say about that?
Oh, like a little pitch for the book?
Yeah.
I mean, like it was 2020 and I was watching season 40 and I was like, why hasn't there been another showmance like Rob and Amber? They made my life back in the day as like a little 12-year-old watching. It was my favorite thing. So I was like, why don't I just write my own? Yeah, it's pitched as like Survivor meets The Bachelor, but really like I don't really watch The Bachelor. I love Survivor. And it's basically Survivor, but you're attached by 8 feet of rope to like a missed connection. And you have 3 days where you just be on a beach with them. And then there's a challenge where you have to work together and then you're reshuffled because you're actually compatible with everyone there. And then, someone's eliminated. It's just like Survivor, but like with a romance twist.
It's so fun. And like I said, I just like really love that there was something new within the Survivors. And like, I wonder if there are like people who read this book and were like, oh my God, I got to check out Survivor.
There have been. Everyone has told me, and it's been so exciting because my goal in writing this, one of my major goals was to convince everyone I know to watch Survivor because in 2020, okay, I was the only one I knew watching Survivor. And at the time, my boyfriend at the time, I got him into it, which was like, I felt so triumphant. I was like, I got someone obsessed. And then like every time someone reads this and is like, I guess I'm watching Survivor now. Where do I start? And I'm like, here you go. Here's my list. Do it. Go for it.
Amazing. Yeah. So obviously you were a fan of Survivor before you wrote the book. That's why you were inspired. When did you start watching Survivor? Are you an OG fan? You've been watching since day one?
Not day one, but day like 2, like the finale of season 1. Little 9-year-old me was on the bed watching with my mom, and I was enraptured by it. I didn't know really what it was. My mom was like, they have to walk on hot stones and survive on an island. And I was like, oh my God, I can't wait to watch the next season. So I watched from season 2 on. I was like a big Kimmy fan back in the day. And like, I'll never forget that first gross food eating challenge with the cow brain. Like it's cemented in the foundation of my survivorhood.
Yeah, I feel like those gross food eating challenges are ones that I feel like I see over and over again of people wanting to see that back because it's a little bit, it's a little bit different. It's not.
It's like Fear Factor.
Yes,
Survivor.
It's like also back in 2026. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? So obviously you were an author before. Well, I don't know if people know this. You were an author before you wrote Attached at the Hip. You had 2 books out previously. And how did you get into writing and becoming an author?
Big question.
Tell me everything.
Well, I've always loved reading and storytelling, and I went to school for screenwriting because I thought back in the day when I was a teenager, all the books I read were about like 45-year-old professor men, the Dan Brown books, or like Potter, or like all the books were about boys. So I didn't feel like I could write a whole book like that. And then I read Twilight and I was like, oh my God, a book about an 18-year-old girl with a crush? Wait a minute, people like this. I could write this. So all of a sudden it opened up my mind like, oh, wait a minute, I can write a book. And so after in college, I started booktubing, which is like before book talk, guys, y'all, there was booktube. And I'm one of the OG ancients of booktube. And once I made that into a solid job and I felt like I could start writing, I started writing because that's what I always wanted to do. And yeah, I documented like my whole writing process on YouTube as I went along. And my first book came out in 2019. It was a very exciting time. Again,
wow. That is incredible. That is awesome. I feel like I'm very lucky. I have a friend who just recently her first novel got published. And so I feel like I have this like, you know, she lives in LA. But you know, I feel like I saw her as like through her writing process, and that's not an easy process. It's very difficult. No, obviously you have to write a lot of words. There's like literally that's hard, but also just like coming up with a through storyline and everything. Did you find that like when you were writing these books that it was really free flowing and really easy? Or I remember when you were writing your newest book, I was following along because I was like, now I'm obsessed with her. I got to follow her on TikTok. I was following along on TikTok. And I remember there at the end, you would always post about like the struggles at the end. So is it like free flowing early on and then it gets harder at the end? How is that process?
It's different for every book. Like if we're going to use like an example of like Attached at the Hip, like I had this, I don't want to like give anything away, but like there's an antagonist character in it. And but like you all, never mind. I can't talk about it. Anyway, there's always something hard in every book. But like, if you're obsessed with the idea, like once you pass the hard bit, like you're free flowing again. Like there's always, for me, act 1 is always my hardest time because you're trying to set up everything and you want to do it perfect the first time, but it's all about like letting go of that like perfection thing because it's never going to be perfect. Your first draft's going to be a hot mess, but you got to let it be. You got to let it be bad so you can make it better. And yeah, book writing is really hard because it's like so time consuming and can be so isolating because you're just really in your head playing like 50 million characters. And like that's also my favorite part. Like when I'm in there and I'm like writing their dialogue and like laughing to myself at 2:30 in the morning about their, you know, their banter. I love that. But then doing that for 40 days, you start to go crazy.
How long does it usually take to write a book? Like obviously there are multiple drafts that I'm assuming you send in, but is it like a months long process or is it something a little bit shorter?
So the first draft, I mean, for me, my longest first draft took 6 months and that was like my first time writing a first draft. Now like I'll write the first 20,000 words for like 3 months and then I'll write the last 80,000 in like 3 weeks. So I usually because I just work better under pressure. So once it come to like, there's a month left before my deadline, I have to shut down into troll mode. But now I don't let myself shut into troll mode until the month before, because I know that's when I'm going to do the majority of it. And doing it before then, it's just going to like put you in a depressive state because you're just saying no to everything, you know? Yeah. So it is so much fun. You just have to make sure you're writing an idea that you love.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I feel like that's how I read books. It takes me about 2 months to read the first 100 pages. And then I get through the last 200 pages or 300 pages in like 4 days. It's like, that's exactly how I read books. It's so funny.
The setup.
Exactly.
It's hard.
So with Attached at the Hip, obviously, you know, you said you needed to be inspired and you needed to really love what you were writing. And you said that this was inspired by Rob and Amber. Is there something that just like really tipped the scales where you're like, I have to get this out of me. I have to write it. Was there a moment in Survivor? Was it just that it was lockdown and you were watching Survivor and it was on your mind?
Well, I mean, I've been obsessed with Survivor forever and I love games and I hadn't thought about like writing a game myself until like the season 40 started. And I was like, oh, wait, like I can write my own version of Survivor. So I don't think there was like one specific thing other than my love of Survivor. And like there's so many Easter eggs in Attached at the Hip, just like little moments that you'll be like, oh, that happened in Survivor season 33. Like, and I love that when I'm reading anything that like references like a fandom or something I love having like these little touchstones that just like bring me back to other moments. And I love a showman. So, okay, we haven't had I mean, we've had Franny, but like we didn't get to see it throughout the whole season. It wasn't like Rob and Amber where it followed all the way through. And then we had what was it, season 46 with Austin and Dee for like a second. It was like almost the showmance. Yeah. But like there hasn't been something like Romber.
Romber.
I want another Romber. And so yeah, that was really my driving. I was like, I want to see your showmance successfully pan out in front of my eyes.
Exactly. I have a countdown to Survivor 50, and one of the first questions was how many survivors married each other. What was it? It was how many survivors married each other, and that was a really fun thing because most of the marriages that have come out of the show aren't from people, maybe not most, but a good amount of them aren't from people on the same season.
Yeah. Just like in the universe.
Yeah, you're in the universe because going out and like doing Survivor stuff, especially nowadays, you get to know basically everybody. Like I have had the privilege to, meet a lot of people and go to these live events and whatever else. And everyone kind of knows everybody and everybody talks to everybody. And so it's really cool. It was really cool going through there and being like, oh yeah, this person got with this person and they're married now.
Yes.
With many
I love
kids.
that.
But they're not from the same season, but they are from the Survivor verse, which is still very fun.
Yeah, no. Oh my God. Wait, this is such a random thing. But like before Attached at the Hip came out was the season, like it was right before the season before Attached at the Hip came out was Dee and Austin's season. So I was like so excited when things started. Like I was like, oh my God, this is like, I wrote this into existence. And they made it to like, the final two together. And somebody, I can't remember who it was, but like in the finale episode was like, Dee and Austin are attached at the hip. And I was like, no.
That is so funny. Wow.
Oh my God,
I love that. That's so serendipity. And I don't know if you know this. Obviously, Dee and Austin aren't together.
Yeah.
But Austin is either engaged or dating
with Jeff Probst's
niece.
Right? Yes. Love it.
So, I mean, I would consider that kind of a Survivor relationship, kind of.
Yeah, no, it definitely is.
Right?
Yeah.
1,000%. But I wanted to say, I think it's really interesting. You brought this up, saying like you added in small like Easter eggs that if you don't watch Survivor, you won't know, like in the book. And that's something that as a Survivor fan, I really appreciated. I was excited to read it no matter what. When I saw that there was a Survivor book, I was like, honestly, I love that she's a fan, but I would just read anything that was based on Survivor because I crave it. I crave this. But like it was so wonderful to read this and be like, this was actually written by a true fan because we, us Survivor fans knew exactly like these Easter eggs. How many did you consciously leave? A lot of them, like for that reason?
I just like wanted to like pay homage to like so many of my favorite moments. And like I would think about like what are my like standout moments in Survivor and try to include something that kind of harkened back to it. And like when I was thinking of one of the big points in the book was definitely like a reference to like a big, I can't say it without spoiling.
You gotta go read it.
But like, there's this moment at like the midpoint, I would say, whereas like it's a reference to one of like the most iconic things I think has ever happened in like early Survivor. And it was so fun to have that in there. So yeah, I was just having fun, like giggling to myself, making these references.
I love that. And if you haven't read the book, first of all, you should go read it. But second of all, let me know in the comments what you think she means. And then go read it for yourself.
Don't spoil it though, out of context.
I feel like it's like I said, it's really, really cool. And I don't know if you've noticed this. Since obviously it takes a while to get books made, but since this book has been released, there are now many more Survivor books that are coming out. Obviously, some of them are specific to like, like a Survivor textbook, Rob Ciccinino's book coming out. But
Jeff
Stephen
has
Fishback,
one too,
Jeff has one coming out.
Yes.
And Stephen Fishback also has one. I'm obviously it's not going to be the exact same, but it's similar in the fact that it's fiction. And it's not one coming out. So it's really interesting to see that, like, I felt like there was nothing within, this one community of, I like to read. There was really nothing for Survivor fans to really read other than like Boston Rob's book that came out like a million years ago and like How to Win Friends and Influence People or whatever else, which isn't really a Survivor book. It's just a book that people read before they go on the show. But now I feel like we're spoiled with all of these books. What do you think? Like, do you think that they, the book industry needed to see that like this was actually something that people were we're interested in and worth buying, or do you think it's just like a nice happenstance maybe because it's around season 50?
I think it's probably both. I think like seeing someone write about Survivor, like maybe you weren't thinking about it. And then like, especially if you already like were a Survivor player, like, oh wait, I have stuff to say on this topic. And like if this is a book, I can do a book. That sort of a thing. It's just like a ripple effect, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's been like an influx, I feel like, of just in general, like reality show books in the last couple of years too. Which is just exciting. It's just getting more people involved in the fandom. And the fact that it's, you know, colliding with 50 is
serendipity.
Really, really great. I mean, it's crazy to think that I was writing this during like right after 40 and we're now at 50.
Yeah.
Wild.
It's crazy. It's also so funny when you think about like Survivor seasons, because obviously there's 2 a year. But you think about like 10 seasons, you're like, oh my God, that's so many seasons. And it's 5 years, which is a long time.
Yeah.
But like still, it's like so many seasons. So much has happened. So much has been added into the Survivor verse and, you know, only just a 5-year time. Are you excited for 50?
I'm so fucking excited. Am I allowed to curse?
Yes, of course you are.
I'm so excited for 50. It's been just kind of surreal seeing all of the press coming out for 50. Like, I've never seen something for Survivor as cool as the fucking, was it like the entertainment?
Was it like Entertainment Weekly
cover? Entertainment Weekly cover with them all lined up to be 50 and it comes up. Oh my God, I screeched. I watched that so many times and I just showed everyone I know. And I'm like, look how cool they're doing Lost promo. It looks like Lost.
It does look like
I am such a sucker for anything with people like crashed on an island surviving, and Lost is my favorite show of all time. And I know, you know, they made Lost because they wanted a drama version of Survivor. And so it looks like Lost. And I'm just
It's so funny that you bring that up, because I actually, so this is people who listen to Specials probably know this, but I didn't start watching Survivor until 2018. So I'm a relatively new convert. But growing up, I used to be obsessed with Discovery Kids. I don't know if you ever watched the channel Discovery Kids.
I didn't.
There were like, I can't even remember some of these shows, but they were kid versions of like adult shows basically. But there was a kid Survivor. It was called Endurance. And I was obsessed with Endurance. I was obsessed. Jonathan Young was actually on Endurance, and I think he won. Yeah. And Glenn Powell was the first one voted out of Endurance season 2.
No shit.
Yeah, literally.
No shit.
Literally. But I thought of it because there was also a kids version of Lost on Discovery Kids.
A scripted show?
A scripted show. It was called like Flight 29 Down or something. And it was literally like a kid's version of Lost.
I'm shook.
Which I also loved. And I did not even put that together until just now at this very moment. Because I also was obsessed with these shows. And yet it's very funny that I didn't come to Survivor. And I still haven't gotten the courage to watch Lost yet. Because I know. You
have to watch Lost.
I know.
You're gonna fucking love it.
I know I will. I just feel like I'll get too into it.
Heard controversial shit. That's all from people who didn't understand Lost.
Period. Okay. Done. I'm sold. I'm just like scared of everything. That's my problem.
No, it's not scary except for one episode, and it's called The White Rabbit. Just watch it with the lights on. It's not.
I can do that. That I can do. But I never put this together because I was obsessed with these like kids shows. But it's funny because I never came to like watching Survivor. And like I said, I haven't seen Lost yet until much later in life. And yet I adored it as a kid. What do you think it is? This is going to be kind of maybe a deep question that we can talk about. Why do you think we love this so much? Like, obviously there's the game component to Survivor that I really like.
Strategy,
but like, why are we like people so enthralled in this idea of like starting over?
Yeah. Well, oh my God, so many
TED Talks.
So many ways you could take this. I feel like it's kind of like how women are obsessed with murder podcasts. Like, you want to know learn as much as you can to think that maybe like you could do it too. I think that's part of it. You know, like you want to be able to survive on an island. Like because I watch Lost and Survivor, like I'm convinced I know things about island survival. And also, yeah, there is this thing about starting over with a fresh group of people and you could be whoever you want to be.
Mhm.
And if you're not proud of some things you've done in your past, like you have a fresh, clean slate to start over and redeem yourself. I mean, like that's a lot of what Lost is about, is redemption. And I'm just like, there's also Survivor redemption.
Yep.
No, I really think we have this like fantasy of kind of getting away from society and living a smaller life and being whoever you want to be, and kind of being cut off from like technology. Is that life, the life we live is so overloaded and stressful, and it's this kind of like secret desire to just be cut off from society.
That's so real. I think that really there was a downturn in society when Wi-Fi got added to planes. I think that planes should be a Wi-Fi free zone. I feel like you can, I'm okay with the movies. I'm fine. I'll watch the movies, but I think live television should not be on planes. I think planes should be a safe space.
I love that you've taken this to planes.
I've always believed this. I remember there was, do you remember that rush when you would like get off a plane?
Yes, you turn on your phone?
Yeah.
Yes. I loved that rush, and now it doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist
unless you self-impose the.
Which I know you think I have that kind of self-control. I don't. I need somebody to take it away from me.
I paid $8 for Wi-Fi too often. Well, this is the problem. They've taken off screens in the majority of planes, so I'm going to go crazy. I tried really hard to just watch Cinderella on my phone on my last flight from Jersey to LA, and I couldn't do it. The flight was lasting forever.
Long flight. That's like a 6-hour flight. It's like a 6-hour flight. Yeah. That's obviously we're not talking about Survivor right now, but that's, you know what? That's why
it's a small version of Survivor. You have 6 hours on a plane. Survive.
Go. Yeah, you know, I feel Surviving the Fandom, we take things everywhere. We go all over the place. But I do think it's interesting. I feel like you hit the nail on the head. I do think that there's the game aspect of the show now, but I do think that people really like crave a new experience. They crave challenging themselves. And then I think that people who maybe don't necessarily want to put their bodies through that really like watching it because it's still interesting. We can still kind of put, you know, ourselves in their shoes, which is why I think a lot of people consider the players characters rather than real people, because I think it's easier to criticize, but it's also easier to put yourself into a character's perspective rather than like a real life person's perspective.
Yeah.
But I find it really fascinating.
Yeah. And the edit kind of like lends to kind of leaning into the character idea as well, because it's different when you're on the island than when you're in real life, because you're playing the game. Everyone can be a character if they want to while they're playing. Exactly.
Speaking of characters, who are some of the people that you're most excited to see on season 50, and who are some people that you are really sad are not going to be on 50?
I'm so excited for Angelina, so excited for Aubrey, so excited for Kyle and Camila, for Christian Hubecki, Rick Devin. I mean, so many people. Excited to see what happens with Coach being there. Sari. I mean, like, I'm excited for most of the people. I could just go through the whole cast list.
I love that.
I mean, sad. Obviously, there's always going to be people. Like, there's so many people that I would want on the season. I'm trying to think if there's like one specific. Our like big hitting players are, it would have been fun to see Tony again because he didn't really get to go very long on Australia.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, we just saw Parvs and we see Boston Rob all the time. I would like to see Amber compete again, even though like I know she doesn't have any interest. I feel like.
Yeah, she had to be convinced for season 40, I think, with what was it, like $200,000 or $100,000 or something like that.
Shit.
She got an appearance fee. Boston Rob got an appearance fee.
Yeah, I would assume most of them did, right?
Yeah, this one, no one's getting an appearance fee. Season 50, which I thought was very interesting. Season 50, not a single person is getting an appearance fee. People are only getting their placement prize. So,
Wow.
but they did up the placement prize. So I think the first person who's voted out is getting $20,000 plus their $10,000 live appearance, which I found fascinating because Jeff said in an interview, he said, I'm doing this because we're doing this because we only want the people who want to do the show. They don't want, rather than the people who like want to do it for the money, which I get that. I feel like it's the Mike White approach. It's the, everyone gets paid the exact same on the White Lotus.
Excited to see Mike White too. I'm excited to see everyone. I'm so excited. Also, they're getting like some real kick-ass photos for their profiles.
A lot. So many pictures.
Usually the Survivor photos are like, let me take my iPhone and take the worst picture possible of you on the beach. Everyone looks amazing, which is very different, and I'm living for it. I know it's controversial, but I'm like, oh wow, look at these glamour shots. Love.
I love. Here's the thing. This is what I love about returning player seasons. I love the hype because I love that everybody. I love a newbie season. We got so many of them in the 40s, so obviously, like I'm craving something new. But I'm loving the fact that, like for example, in the Entertainment Weekly, they did interviews with Dalton Ross on Entertainment Weekly. Pardon me, and he asked everybody, who do you want to vote out first? And you can do that because everybody knows who everybody else is.
Yeah.
And so, you got the viral thing of Dee saying, Colby was walking up the stairs when the escalators was right there.
I didn't see this.
Pick-me. It's so good. It's so good. She called him a pick-me essentially for walking up the stairs instead of taking the escalator. And that's why she wants to vote out Colby first.
I wouldn't mind. I'm kind of bummed Colby's there without Jerry. I think I've probably said this before. Yeah, because I like when we've got the duos back. I think that's really fun, a really fun dynamic. Like Cass and Spencer when they came back together, and
James
Colby
and Amanda.
Yes, when Colby and Jerry come back together, we've got this push and pull that's so fun. But like Colby by himself, I'm like, dude, you had many tries.
Yeah. Yeah, you need the yin and the yang. You need to have the two opposites. And the fact that especially Jerry and Colby are, so one was so beloved and one was so hated in the zeitgeist of the world. And every single time, I feel like Colby kind of stayed on the same track. I don't think people overly hated on Colby that whole time. But the more Jerry came back, I feel like the more, except that's a lie. On All Stars, I think it dipped back down. But then when she came back for Heroes versus Villains,
yes.
I feel like was kind of a redemption arc for her. And I think that it would be a really fun storyline to see her back once more. Yeah. Because I don't know, have you rewatched Heroes versus Villains recently? She was like this close to winning the game.
She was very close. I don't know if she would have gotten the votes, but she got real far.
I think she would have. I think if she had the idol there at the end, and I think that, I don't know if she probably wouldn't have taken Russell, probably would have sat next to Sandra and Parvati. I think that people would have voted for Jerry and voted, I don't think, because I think that people were upset against Parvati. I think that the people who voted against Parvati still would not have voted for Parvati. But I think that if Jerry was sitting there next to Sandra, Jerry would have gotten more votes because she was, I think, more well-liked by the cast.
Interesting. I just think that move Parv pulled with the double immunity idol was one of the most iconic moments in all Survivor time. And so I would always vote for her.
I mean, you're not wrong. It's so iconic. It's so incredible. We did on this podcast, we did a draft 2 weeks ago of the best episodes of Survivor. And the first draft pick was that episode. What was it called? That you give the rat some cheese or something. It's I don't remember what it was called, but it's because it's so iconic.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite season of Survivor?
Well, basic bitch answer that you had in your recent reel. Yes, obviously it's season 20. I do have a batch of like 7 though. Like I love Pearl Islands. I love All Stars. I love Millennials versus Gen X. And I love David versus Goliath, and
all amazing.
But also like Second Chance. I really, really love an all-star season. Oh, fans versus favorites with Parv. Like, there's so many good ones. And when I like try to tell people my favorite seasons, though, who haven't watched it, I have to like be like, no, wait, though, you have to watch all these regular seasons first, or else you're not gonna appreciate it.
Exactly.
Yeah, like I make people watch season 19 because you have to watch. It's Russell changed the game. Like you
Yeah.
have to watch it, even though he's an asshole. Like he
Yep.
did some iconic shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate, but it is the truth. He changed. There was a real shift there. I think there are multiple like shifts in the game. I would say Rob Cesternino was a shift in the game. Russell was a shift in the game. Maybe, I don't know, maybe like,
Remember season 1 when they were like, "You're not allowed to have an alliance." Shift in the game.
honestly, having Richard Hatch win, that was a shift in the game. I think that the fact that Richard Hatch won really, sealed the fate that Survivor is there for a long time. That, somebody who, because Richard Hatch was going against the person who was who was the most well equipped to be out in the, what was she, a whitewater kayak instructor, something like that?
Yeah, something like that.
Or like some kind of camper, whatever. But she was like really well equipped to do all of the surviving stuff. But Richard Hatch played the game. Mm-hmm. And so it was like, the fact that he won is just, amazing. It's iconic. Mm-hmm. Is that, so you said the first season of this, the finale was the first episode you watched. Did your parents watch that for whole first season and then you just happened to watch this finale, or was it just on?
I feel like my mom caught random episodes. I think there was a lot of buzz, in the zeitgeist about it. So she was watching the finale, and like so many people, like 40 million people were watching back then. It was everywhere. So I don't think she was like watching week to week, but she had it on, and I forget the question.
No, and so then you was it like, did you really want to come back and watch the second season? Were you the one who was like, I have to watch this?
Oh, I definitely, I was 9, so like don't remember it like word for word, but like I was obsessed after that. I was like, when's it coming back? I want to watch it. And like back then it was on Thursdays, and like if we were going to miss it, I had to record it on VHS so you could watch it later.
OG, yeah. And the finale, I think, was on Sundays or something, or early on.
Yeah. And I remember like Jerry, I rewatched this in 2020. So I also writing this book gave me an excuse to rewatch every single season of Survivor for the first time, and it was wonderful. Like I had never watched them back to back like that, and it really is different. But anyway, rewatching this, I was like, why did people hate Jerry? Like, this is ridiculous. And I was so annoyed by Colby. Like, he just kept saying things. I was like, ew.
Yeah. The rewatch, like, why did everybody hate Jerry? She was just like a person.
She was just
like
there.
A woman. She was just like a woman there.
Literally a woman who was like, I like chocolate.
I think she flirted. I think honestly, part of it, I think, was that America was mad that they couldn't flirt with Colby. And so they put their anger onto Jerry because Jerry was flirting with Colby. I feel like jealousy. It's that. I feel like it was like jealousy a little bit. Yeah. Mean, very mean jealousy, but jealousy nonetheless. Yeah. Now, obviously you said you rewatched everything in 2020, and, a lot of people, I know so many people who had never watched a single episode, a single day of the show. And then, lockdown happened, pandemic happened, and everyone needed new things to watch. What can we watch a lot of to take up our time? And everybody watched Survivor. Have you noticed that, since then, like a shift in maybe your friend group or your family, that you can actually have conversations about the show now with them? Or do you still feel like you're the only one, that watched the show that, you can reference and things like that?
There's definitely been a shift since I put my book out, because like people have read it and got back into Survivor in my life. But I also have like readers in like my community that have like messaged me, that will message me about Survivor now. And of course, I'm still friends with my ex-boyfriend, so we still talk about Survivor. Like, so I definitely have people in my life now. There's definitely more people in the zeitgeist, so just talking about it, like Tom Holland and like Billie Eilish, and like random people will just mention Survivor, like Adam Scott, and it's really cool to just see that everyone's watching. It's a different vibe than it was. And I think 40 kind of started that because it was the Hunger Games of Survivor. Iconic. And like so many people missed it. New fans now. I'm like, you haven't watched 40.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's so funny that like, I wasn't doing my, coverage back in 40. I was a fan. I was not doing any TikTok coverage. I wasn't doing anything like that. I was just, a super fan of the show. So I'm really excited to experience season 50 because this is going to be my first ever returning season.
Oh my God.
As somebody who's like covering it. And I'm like, I literally get like once a week, I'll think about it and I'll get like goosebumps because I'm just like so excited just to be able to like go into like dig my teeth into these episodes and talk about them with everybody. Like it's just going to be, I'm counting,
and the
literally counting down
inside
the days.
jokes. Like there's just so much like lore. Like there's just for every player, like for Christian, that moment where it's like, do you want to play with me? And he's like, in the sand?
In the sand? That was my favorite, literally my favorite picture, because in the Entertainment Weekly, one of his photos, he was playing in the sand with a stick.
I did not see any of these pictures. I missed them.
And I went, that's a reference. That's a reference to playing in the sand.
An iconic reference.
Iconic reference. I love when they're, you know, I do think that there are some complaints about, and I totally get and respect these, that it's a little bit too self-aware. Survivor's a little bit too self-aware now, that it's very self-referential and all of these things. But I do think I love it too. Because it makes me feel good.
It makes it feel like you're part of a friend group. The thing is, like, if you're not self-aware in this day and age, then like you're allowing you're not laughing with everybody, they're laughing at you, and like becoming self-aware makes you a part of the inside joke. Like I feel like everyone just wants to find something to be upset about. But with time, they're on for 50 seasons. They're gonna be self-aware.
Yeah.
We've been doing this for a while.
Literally, in Rob's book, he talks about at one moment he talked about how he got reprimanded for talking about being a fan of the show, and like he was not allowed to bring up that he would watch the show at home or how he feels like his family, like he would get in trouble. And then he talks about how when Cerise season came out, he was like, wait, they can say that she's somebody who got off the couch when I was being yelled at for talking about being a fan.
Yeah. He was early on. He had to break the ceiling.
He did. He literally did. He had to be like, I guess I'll be the first one to be a super fan, but I can't talk about anything here. Do you listen to, I mean, obviously you were on Mike Bloom's podcast. Are you a fan of RHAP as well?
Yes. So I discovered RHAP when I was doing my rewatch in 2020, and they were doing a rewatch. So it was so exciting. So because like I would find like the ones I was on and like the seasons I was rewatching, and then find that episode when they recapped it and listen to it, their take on it. I have not been able to keep up week to week. Now that I have my own podcast, it's so much harder. Like, do you have trouble keeping up? Like, I'm so behind now, but I love RHAP. They're so fun. And I went to like my first Survivor event in 2023, one of the RHAP events, and it was so fun. Love it.
Oh, they're the best.
Yeah.
They're the best. I say this every single time, but if anybody can, if you have a chance to go to a Survivor Live event, whether it's a Survivor Cafe, whether it's whether you throw it in your house with your friends, it's just like watching Survivor. Or do you watch sports? Are you a sports person?
No, I watch a lot of TV, but not sports.
Same, but I'm the exact same way. But I really feel like that sports are like Survivor is like a sport in the way that we can build this community, and we don't know what's going to happen, and so we can root for somebody, we can be sad, we can commiserate. Proper use of that word together.
I am really upset about the Traitors not having a Survivor in the turret. I'm just like, I was so bummed. And then when Rob was just ousted 2 seconds, and I was like, you've got to be fucking kidding.
Yeah.
I felt like I had a personal friend on the show.
Me too.
How dare you?
My close personal friend, Robert Sesternino, is our friend.
I was like watching with a friend. I was like, no, you don't understand. Like, I know him. He has to do well.
You don't get it. I had to make a video. Everyone was mad that I was upset that Rod got voted out in my like recap of the first 3 episodes. And I had to make a video, and I was like, guys, you don't understand. No. You don't understand what we've been through. He hasn't been on TV in 20 freaking years.
So long.
Give me more than 2.2 episodes.
He was supposed to be a traitor. I was like, please. I hated the secret traitor twist. It was so stupid that they didn't let us see the secret traitor, because that like we're just being tortured like the faithfuls. We're not here playing. We want to know, or else like it was no fun seeing that 2-second montage of Mama Kelsey after the fact that she was deleted from the show.
Yeah. And I think the fact I don't think I would have hated the Secret Trader twist so much if it was a gamer in that. If it was Tiffany or Ian or
Yeah.
or
Well,
Rob
or
or
I mean,
Jam Jam or
yeah,
even or Natalie.
I had so much hope that it was Jam Jam. I was like, please let it be Jam Jam.
I literally thought the same thing, but then when I saw Rob's name on the short list, I went, well, darn. I don't think it's Jam Jam anymore.
I was like, maybe he wants to get the survivors out. I was just like really just holding on to hope with my fingernails.
That's so real. You know what's interesting? I find I love The Traitors. I am a huge fan of The Traitors.
Yeah,
and I think that The Traitors is a really interesting TV show, the way that the United States does it, because it's obviously reality TV stars, not like regular people. I think the game itself would be better as regular people.
Have you watched the UK versions with the regular
It's on
people?
my list. I need to watch it. I've heard they're very good.
Yeah, they're good.
But I really like, I think it's really interesting because I think what The Traitors does is it shows a lot of people who will never give, like the Real Housewives or like Survivor, the two different communities that watch them, these two respective shows, typically don't have a crossover. Like I don't have any Real Housewife friends who watch Real Housewives who also watch Survivor.
I know.
Nobody. And none of my Survivor friends really watch Real Housewives except for a select few. And what The Traitors does is it really introduces both communities to each other.
It mixes them, and we're watching the same show for once, and it's really nice.
And it's really nice, and then it's really fun because I made a video about Natalie Anderson and her lore on Survivor, and it was really fun because a lot of people were like, why haven't we heard more from her on The Traitors? I didn't know this about her. I didn't know all of this stuff about Natalie Anderson. And I was like, yeah, you wouldn't, but it's amazing. Now go watch her season. Now go watch. They're editing her so poorly. Give me more.
Well, I'm hoping that she's going to be like, more in it as we go further, and she becomes more of a lead character since she's amazing.
She is absolutely amazing. I think that you're right. I think it'll happen, but I want it faster.
Yeah, they have like a slow burn on some people because there's just too many characters. To really spotlight in the beginning. But I think she'll come into her own in the edit as we go along, hopefully.
Yeah,
fingers crossed.
Absolutely. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Now, I know that you also, I just want to mention, I haven't read it yet because I'm still finishing.
No, all good.
But you did just come out with a new book,
I did.
Which I'm very excited to read. 30, Flirty, and Forever Alone. Obviously you do single standalone books, right? You're not like a series writer.
No, I mean, like if the publisher ever came to me and was like, write another attached with it, I'd be like, fuck yeah. But like, I'm not doing like a fantasy series. My books though are all in the same universe. So there's always like Easter eggs, like characters show up from the other books and stuff.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that. That's awesome. How did you get the inspiration to write this book?
Okay. Well, I am still single. And I had done like 3 years on the dating apps and was so frustrated. And then I was at a wedding and I met somebody at the wedding. I was like, oh my God, I met someone in real life. And we're like, we have chemistry and we're chatting. And then at the end of the wedding, he was like, do you want to go on a date? And I was like, sure. And then I found out he doesn't live anywhere near here. I was like, why are we doing this? And he's like, I'm going to be around for a couple of days. And I was like, okay. And then went on the date. It was really fun. And I was like, fuck, this sucks. And but then I was like, wait a minute, but what a good book premise.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was like really nice to channel all my dating frustration into like a character's arc.
Yeah.
And the plot, and it has like a little dash of magic, which I love putting in like wish fulfillment magic things randomly into my books that aren't about Survivor. If there's a game, there's no magic because I want the game to be fair.
The game, you know what? The game is the magic.
Yeah, it is. So my next book that I'm working on right now has another game in it, and that's the magic as well. There's no magic, there is a game.
Love. As a game fan, I love, but I'm also a magic fan. I usually either read fantasy. It's really annoying. I don't use Goodreads. I use a book app. Yeah, and it's really annoying because the two books I've read so far this year are both nonfiction. And if you look at it, it like looks that I read nonfiction, and I'm like, I need to fix this. I hate this. I usually read fantasy, like sci-fi, romance books.
Yeah.
Why don't I have any of that in this app? This app thinks I'm something else. This app thinks I'm my
The
dad.
algorithm is going to be off.
Yeah, the algorithm is off on my app.
Yeah.
But so I'm very excited to break into this book. But you've already started to write your next one.
Yeah, I have it. I just handed in the second draft, and it's called See You at Twilight, and it's kind of for like the Twilight girlies. But it's a rom-com and it's a game book, and I'm really excited about it. But I guess I can't really say much about
because it's still in the works. That's so exciting,
still in the works, but should be out 2027. So very excited.
That's amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now, I do have a question for you. As an author, as a writer, have you ever thought about ways to improve the game of Survivor? Obviously, you had to come up with your full game, like a full new game for your book. So have you thought about any twists or new ideas that, Survivor could add into the game to make it better?
Honestly, I love when Survivor does themed seasons. So like, I just want them to bring that back so bad. I think it would be really fun to have a romance slanted Survivor season, like a bunch of singles, not like Love Island though. Like they're playing Survivor. I just think that would be so fun. I want like not Gen X. I want millennials versus Gen Z. Like I just want all the heavy themes back. Like I don't really think about twist as much as like I feel like themes are a twist. I feel like
absolutely.
Depending on what it is, it's really interesting to watch that added into the social experiment. Like it was really interesting when they did like Brains, Brawn, Beauty to see that brains are all like so fucking egotistical that like those tribes just eat themselves alive every single fucking time. It's depressing. Like, and just to think of like, where would I be put if I was on this season? Like, it's just, you kind of have some loyalty to a team just based on the theme, which I also like because it's like, oh, my team is playing. And like when you watch Brains, Bronze, Beauty and you watch like, I watched the Brains tribe eat themselves alive and I was so depressed because I was like, oh, I think I'd be on this tribe.
Me too. I definitely would not be a Brawn, let me tell you.
No.
And I really think that I would have been on the Brains. And I was like, man, that honestly, it checks out though. I feel like the Brains always feel like they're the smartest in the room, and having six people.
You have to be more self-aware as a Brain.
Yeah, Brain has never won a Brains versus Beauty versus Brawn. And I think that also includes in international. Chat, let me know in the comments if I'm wrong.
Beauty won and Brawn won. Fuck.
Yep.
That's depressing representation, Brains.
I think I lied. I think Brains won in the most recent Australian versus the world won, but yeah, Brawn, I feel like Brains and Beauty and Brawn usually.
The thing is also like Beauty could be a brain in disguise. Like, and it's just like it's depressing.
Yeah.
And Brawn
I do love the theme seasons though, because I think, what was lost in the new era in the 40s was I think that the idea, I understand what they were trying to do. They wanted to get back to the basics, but then they didn't really actually do that. But I if I have trouble differentiating seasons and I'm somebody who thinks about it literally all day, every day, then how do you feel my, boss at my job who watches, maybe once a week, maybe he doesn't always keep up.
Yeah.
How is he going to be able to do that? And I think that was just a big miss on their part. And so I'm
lightly themed and we would have remembered them better.
And it doesn't have to be like, they had like art
Shark.
or art.
Yes.
Do like Blood in the Water or something.
Monster.
Literally do like Survivor Round Table or something, or I don't know, clever names. Cause there was like a season that was like based around knights. There was a season that was based around bats. There was a season that was based around birds.
That's how I tried to like remember them in my mind, but like, it's not strong enough pulled through the season, like that you really associate it with it. Yeah. They don't.
You have to name the season something.
Yes.
So do like it for the shark one, which was this season. You could call it Blood in the Water, or you could call it like something about pirates because there was a pirate ship, and then add challenges in there, to make it slightly more
I feel like they
overt.
have to come up with a different name though, because we have a pirate season, Pearl Islands, and it was really heavily themed and like blood in the water is like blood versus
It
water.
sounds like blood versus water.
Iconic. Yeah, like I fucking love blood versus water. Bring back blood versus water.
I would say my top themes that I want to see back are blood versus water, second chances, and fans versus favorites. Those are my 3 themes that I want to see back. And honestly, this is a hot take. I really like the one world twist. And I don't love the season, but I love the twist. And so I think if they had better people in that season, the season would have been much more compelling.
Interesting. Yeah.
So those are like some of my top twists that I want to see back.
Yeah. I love blood versus water. I would like to see like I don't know. I want to see like the players that didn't get votes season that people talk about. Like, I think that would have been real. That's really interesting because it's always really depressing for that one person that makes it to the end and doesn't get votes. And so many times they're so deserving. So that would be fun. Yeah. Any of the things you mentioned and like family, Survivor families.
That would be crazy. Jeff would love that. Jeff loves to make sure the show about family.
I want love back on Survivor. I hate the stupid letters and all we ever get. Like, bring the family out. It's still a lot of days, okay? People who think about like 23 days, you're not putting yourself in the place of like being cut off and not speaking to anyone for 23 days. Like, you don't speak to anyone for 3 days. You start to go fucking crazy, okay? Yeah. Like, you don't have your phone for 2 hours. You go crazy. You're cut off.
I think people think that they're like, what do you mean? I've been away from my family for I live in a different city than my family, and you can still talk to them, you can still call them.
You have the internet.
Yeah, you have the internet. You can check on their social media. You can text them.
And you're not being lied to 24/7. People also don't think about that. You're in this like echo chamber of people that are always lying to you. So you're going insane. And you know that this one person isn't going to lie to you.
Literally. Yeah. Literally. Yeah, I think that a loved one's visit definitely needs to come back. I think we'll get that for 50. I think that they would want that for 50.
Oh yeah, I would hope so.
Here's to hoping. Here's to hoping. Well, Christine, thank you so much for chatting with me about Survivor and books and all of this stuff. Before I let you go, do you have a winner pick for Survivor 50?
Oh my God. I mean, I feel like I have to say Suri because I want to put that into the universe.
I get that.
Like, I would be happy with so many people winning, but like I don't want to say anyone else because I want her to get there.
I get that. I want the Suri W probably more than anything. I think that'd be iconic.
I think we all really, really do.
We all really want it, and you know what? I feel like we deserve that. Suri deserves that.
She deserves that. Like, yeah. I know she won Traders, but it's not the same. And she came so close in Australia. Like, I will never forget watching her do the fire challenge, like, and just like being so fucking close.
If that woman did not practice fire before she went out, I won't even be able to talk to her. The amount of times she has failed at fire, like.
But she didn't fail this time. And it was like.
She didn't fail this time. She failed one of the 2 times.
Yeah, but the second time when it counted, she had it.
She had it. Well, Christine, where can people get your books?
Yeah, I mean, like online, there's links everywhere, but like, on Amazon, where you buy books, you can get 30 Flirty, and Attached at the Hip should be anywhere you can go to your bookstore, like, but it's always there online, easily accessible.
The online, the best
online book. Yeah.
And when does your podcast come out? Is it all about books?
Oh yeah. Oh, I do have a podcast. I always forget that I have a podcast. I'm on a podcast. Yeah, I have a podcast called Those Four King Fangirls, and I fangirl with my best friend Natasha about like books, movie, TV, whatever we're watching that week, and like whatever we're obsessed with will be like the main discussion, but we always talk about like the weekly stuff. So like I just had a big rant about Traders. And she doesn't watch Traders, so I'm just like there ranting to anyone who's listening. But we talk about like pop culture news, nerdy girly pop culture news, and yeah, everything under the sun. Like, we're gonna have a heated rivalry episode soon, and I'm excited.
Iconic. We love heated rivalry here.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Well, Christine, thank you so much for chatting with me. It's always such a pleasure to talk to you. You're so much fun. And genuinely, I love what you have brought, at least to my Survivor fandom. But I know a lot of people really love that we have other ways to kind of enjoy Survivor and without, using a TV.
Thank you. Thank
So
you so much for having me. I love all of your content. It's been so much fun getting into the Survivor fanverse. Like you were the first person that I followed that was like a Survivor like fan creator, and then like it really expanded my universe, and it's been so fun.
really screwed up your For You page. Just kidding.
No. Then I started following Survivor players, and I was like, why aren't I following anybody?
You know what? I don't know if I should say you're welcome or sorry, so I'm just going to say both.
No, thank you. Thank you very
But thank
much.
you.
This has
Thank
been
you
so
seriously.
fun.
So much fun. So much fun to chat with you. And everybody, thank you so much for listening. We are going to actually go live in a couple of hours to do a draft on the biggest snubs of the Survivor 50 cast, which is going to be so much fun. We've got pretty much the whole crew there, so it's going to be a blast. So you can check that out. It's going to be 9 p.m. Eastern here again on YouTube if you want to come and check it out. But Christine, thank you again so much. And thank you all so much for listening. And I'll see you next time on Surviving the Fandom.
You.
Bye.
Bye.